What's up, y'all? It's your girl VeeArtise, and let's be real, self-doubt is loud. It whispers lies like, you're not good enough, you're too late, and FYI, nobody cares about your artwork, just in case you didn't know that. And I know these words quite too well, because I used to believe in these lies, okay? And quite frankly, I find myself sometimes struggling with them today, especially on this new journey that I'm on. But I want to break free from those things. And the reality is, these thoughts are not truth. They're fear trying to keep you small. And once you recognize them for what they are, they lose their power, like poof. So that's what we aim to do today in this video. So I used to stare, and I still find myself staring at blank canvases, paralyzed by fear. And it's not because I lacked ideas, because the world is your arena for inspiration. It was because I kept hearing that inner voice saying, why bother? Who's even going to care? I looked at other artists and thought, well, they've already made it. Why would anybody care about me? And I questioned everything. I'm constantly questioning everything. Is my work even worth sharing? Am I wasting time? What if I fail? Believing those lies almost made me quit several times. Matter of fact, I've quit. I've stopped doing all of the things. And so instead of just saying I question everything, let me take you into a real moment that I'm pretty sure that a lot of us can relate to. I personally find myself scrolling through Instagram and social media, especially Instagram, the perfection of all of our artists. But anyways, I remember seeing myself scrolling, even this morning, scrolling on Instagram, seeing artists who are years ahead of me, selling out shows, getting opportunities I didn't even know existed. Meanwhile, I sat there with unfinished pieces, wondering if I was even good enough to try. And here's what I've learned. God didn't give me this gift just to hide it. There's no way. Because the moment I start to think that I'm going to start hiding this gift, this turmoil starts to happening in my life. And I know we can all attest to it. And one thing I want you to realize is that the enemy knows that when you step into your calling, you become a force to be reckoned with. And that's why the doubt feels heavy, okay? It's designed to stop you. So the 3 lies and the truth that is going to set you free is number 1, I'm not good enough. I'm tired. I'm tired of hearing that. I was about to say, stop telling yourself that, because I literally implemented that in my mind. And I was like, stop telling yourself that. Because imagine if a musician refused to play because they weren't Beethoven yet. It sounds ridiculous, right? Will they ever be? But can you imagine if they decided to not share their work with the world? The truth is, you grow by doing, not by waiting until you feel ready. And every great artist started somewhere. Mastery comes through action, not perfection. And God qualifies the called, okay? He doesn't call the qualified. So if you've ever felt like this, type, that's me, in the comments, okay? Let's share in this testimony. That's me. So type that in the comments, all right? And so in order to get over this, I want you to look at old pieces of work. Compare it to something recent, and that alone is going to be proof to you that you are indeed growing, okay? So Lie number 2 is I'm too late. Listen, okay, all of the greats in the world somewhat have a testimony stating they didn't get recognized until they were in their, into their prime, which that could be in their 30s, their 40s. Toni Morrison published her first novel at 39. Basquiat was homeless, okay, before his art was in galleries. The truth you want to hear is that your timing is divine. Your path is yours, baby. So who's to say that you are late? Your arrival is right on time. Your alarm is set for you. You are not behind. You are being prepared. And success is not about speed whatsoever. It's about alignment. If God placed this in you, He will make a way for you. So I want you to write this down and say it out loud as many times as you need to say it. If God placed this in you, it's going to really spark something great. So I want you to say, I kind of got a little sidetracked. I needed to repeat that. I am right on time for the purpose God has set for me. I am right on time for the purpose God has set for me. Okay? So lie number 3, nobody cares about my art. Let's slow this down a little bit because I remember posting a piece that I almost didn't share, thinking, nobody's gonna care, so why even bother? And guess what? That one piece led to an opportunity that I never saw coming. The truth is, the right people are waiting for what you have to create. And your work is meant to serve, inspire, or impact someone. And just because you didn't make a sale, just because you didn't make any money from it, doesn't mean you aren't contributing to those attributes. You don't need the whole world. You just need the ones that God assigned to you. So the more that you create, the more your people will find you. And that goes to sharing it. Okay? Because you can create all the work in the world, but what happens when you hoarder it and nobody gets to see it? Okay, I'm speaking to myself now because I have so many pieces back here. I have so many pieces. And I'm like, they're old. No. And I'll design something great, something that is so beautiful. Or maybe even not. Sometimes it's those pieces where we're like, no, it's ugly. Nobody's going to like it. Sometimes it's those pieces that really resonate with your audience the most. So I want you to share something today, even if it's small. Okay? And I'm not saying that you have to go post this online, but you can share this with a loved one. Share this with somebody that admires your work. And there's a lot of people who've told us, oh my goodness, you're such a great artist. Why aren't you pursuing this? Share it with that person, even if it's unfinished. Take that step, okay? Because the plan that God has for your life is that your art is not random. It's a calling. In Philippians 1:6, it states that he who began a good work in you will see it and carry it to completion. God wouldn't give you this passion if it wasn't meant to be used. He's not just the author. He's the finisher. Your job, okay? Your job is to trust the process, not question the timing, because it's not a matter of if you will be successful. It's a matter of when you will be successful. Okay? So you have to reinforce divine timing because God is preparing rooms for you that you didn't even know existed. And we have to stop looking at the other artists in terms of the opportunity that they get, that those are meant for you, because they're not. And there's a plethora of things that hasn't been done yet. You read it all the time. The first person to do this, the first person to do that. There is still opportunity for us to thrive in. And your only job, listen, your only job is to keep walking. Okay? So I'm speaking to the ones who need to hear that God is not done with you. Your gift will make room for you. And your impact is already in motion. You, my friend, just have to keep going. So, your homework. We're doing homework because it's one thing to listen to this whole speech and this whole spiel, but it's another thing to make it a challenge. So instead of just listing tasks, let's turn this into something that we can resonate with as a whole, as a community. Pick one of those lies that has held you back the most, okay? Call it out in the comments, okay? Call it out in the comments. Then take action against it. So if you believed I'm not good enough, share something today. Get some feedback, okay? Then if you believe I'm too late, write down what you're working towards and say, I'm right on time. And remember yesterday when we started that list, start checking it off the list. Now is the time to do the things that you know you're supposed to be doing. And tomorrow, because your girl's going to show up tomorrow, we're tackling the biggest enemy of success, and that is fear. So if you ever hesitated, overthought, convinced yourself you weren't ready, we're shutting that all down. We're shutting that down, okay? So set a reminder because you don't want to miss this, all right? So thank you for watching this video. I look forward to reading the comments because you are not alone in this, my friend. So let's make sure we let the next person know that too. All right? Okay. See you tomorrow. All right? Bye.